Hey, hey! That was nice of Nova. They sent me a Mentor 7. This is a big risk for a manufacturer to take because I'm independent. I'm not a dealer and I don't have advertisers to keep happy.
That's what I'm talking about.
So it says something about their confidence in the Mentor 7, especially as I reviewed their past wings with sometimes lukewarm commentary. Maybe this is something different. The construction is modern, with narrow cells, 3D shaping, shark nose, optimized lines, and pretty standard fabrics. The riser set is overly complicated. It's got an extended B riser in the middle with some wire in it. It has some magnetic keepers for the B3 split lines, and overall it's a little bit complicated and difficult to work with, especially for forward launching. But in the air, the C controls are very comfortable and the riser set seems to be very efficient. Overall, the wing gives a good appearance, modern, unique and clean look. On launch, the forward launch is very easy, it's no hurry and it snaps taut, it doesn't overshoot, and it gives you a moderate run length and you only need slow reactions. The reverse launch is very steady with good pressure to work with and no yaw tendency, no sticking point. It does need a bit of energizing to get it back up, and it's particularly tolerant of pitching and overshooting. Can tolerate a lot of forward advance, it's unreactive and it has low pilot demands. The one aspect that's challenging on the ground is it's difficult to pin down in strong conditions with the C risers. The way that they've rigged the C lines into the center means that the tips rise and the ANC steering is poor. The aerofoil feels collapse resistant. I was happy to fly with no hands in bumpy conditions. Collapses that I could induce went in and out, no fuss. On the asymmetrics, the turn decelerates and the wing bangs open. Unless you counter steer it, then the wing seems to stay in and needs a deep pump to clear. Big ears do stick in a little bit and they need pumping. Nova recommends using the B3 technique instead, which does slow the wing down on entry, but otherwise feels okay. Although my attempts at B-line stall were stable and effective, Nova does not recommend this technique because of the risk of causing a horseshoe, which takes it beyond the reach of the average pilot. Spirals were very simple to enter and simple to exit, with very easy pitch damping. It's not overly protected from spin, but it feels just about right for the class. You'd have to be a bully to spin it. It rather tries to go into a turn. With wing overs, they're not aggressive. They're easy to time, they're mild and coordinated. The wing feels cohesive and retains some energy, but the short lines give it a reduced pendulum energy. It's more roll stable than most wings. It's totally yaw stable and very pitch stable, so it dampens out the energy. It has an average stall point position and a good amount of pressure, great resistance and behavior. And overall, pretty simple in SIV situations. It has good enough agility for working rough lift using quite a bit of brake. Weight shift has little effect. It's got an easy balanced thermaling turn which is very efficient and retains some feeling, but it is a bit restrained in the cornering. Where it's quite outstanding is it's surprisingly good on feedback. Despite the calm nature, the air currents are able to be sensed without nervous movements. In terms of pilot demands, it has low energy, doesn't demand instant reactions, and the feeling is somewhat muted but alive. On speed bar, I felt really confident. It's very efficient because of the pitch stability that requires very little rear riser control. And the rear riser control is efficient. Overall, the trust factor in the handling, I would say, is very high. I understand the wing, I know what it'll do, I can feel the air and the wing resists the bumps. Performance is very hard to judge. As an independent reviewer without a team of pilots to compare against, I can only give you my impressions. It's got an efficient turn, thick aerofoil for low speed lift, but the turn can be wide at times. Makes it slightly more suited to strong condition climbs where it's very balanced. You need full weight shift, but the low aspect ratio and the short lines make a tight turn possible. Gliding efficiency, I would say, is very good. It has a reduced line set with thin lines and very stable flight. It's got a torch shape and an effective speed bar. And the pitch control system on the rear risers creates very little drag. So I expect high performance at speed. And the speed is quite outstanding. For a high B glider, the stall speed is low, the trim speed is average, the top speed is high. I was regularly getting 16 kilometers an hour over my trim speed when fully accelerated, which is exceptional. For landings, it has deep stall resistance and a steady nature at low speed, so it makes tricky setups simple, and it swoops well enough. Landing in strong wind, more challenging. The C riser is not effective, and the A's work, but you've got to take care not to grab the split B3 line. Overall, I'd match it at about 33 on my scale, putting it in the high B class, but not right at the top in terms of pilot demands. If you're thinking of getting a new wing, find out if you're ready to upgrade on my special report that matches your hours to wing classes. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more like this. This is the best Mentor yet. It's a docile wing with good feedback. It's got that sweet spot for building confidence in pilots new to the high B class. I can recommend it to a broad range of pilots wanting a calming wing for safety in big mountains. The steady turn will suit moderate to strong conditions. It's undemanding to fly. The ground control could be improved by cleaner risers and better rigging options. Some launch practice is required. Take special care with the nose wires during packing. Overall, this is a high-performance XC machine that will give existing fans of the Mentor series a pleasant surprise, and most progressing pilots will discover that aha moment as they push the speed bar. Who's it for? Well, Nova said of the Mentor 6 that it's got impressive performance with manageable handling and extreme flight behavior, but flying it does require a level of skill and is not suitable for beginners or occasional pilots. So nothing has changed, but everything has changed. For insights on the wing score, the 2-3 hybrid line setup, and special techniques like the B3, join my Flying Academy and check out the extended edition. Members get special deals and equipment and can draw on the collective wisdom of the private chat room.
Yeah, that's South Africa. Yeehaw!